Okay, it is exactly 7 o'clock, and we'll give it just a few moments for everybody to file in here. And hopefully, we'll get a nice big crowd coming in to learn all about how to get into the 3-pack on those Google Maps. And by the way, as you jump in here, feel free to say hello and let me know what business you're from. Pretty much everybody will be from the Loganville, Snellville, Dacula, Lawrenceville area. So feel free again to let me know who's here and where you are from. I can see Courtney is here. Excellent. And we'll get started in just a couple minutes. And hopefully everybody can hear me, by the way. If you can hear me, let me know that as well, because that's always important before we get started, that everybody can hear what I'm saying. And again, we'll give it just a few minutes. We got some people filing in, but I'm sure many more will show up probably in the next few minutes. And I know a few of you will get in here a little bit late, but as you join us, feel free to say hello. Let me know that you can hear what I am saying. And Courtney, you've said hello, so if you can hear me, let me know that as well. And then we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, and for those of you just jumping in, we're going to get started in just a moment with our 5 tips to rank in the Google Maps. And it looks like everybody can hear me so far, so that's good. Courtney says thumbs up image, but it literally says thumbs up image. So I'm assuming that was supposed to give me an actual thumbs up image, but it just said the words. But that works just as well, as long as I know you can hear me. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. Again, if you're just jumping in here, be sure to let me know where you're from. And that way, and when I say where you're from, business-wise, that is, because I know everybody in here is pretty much going to be from the local area, Snellville, Loganville, Grayson, Dacula, maybe even Duluth. Who knows? But let me know where you're from as you get in here, just so we know who it is. And it's now 7:02, so we'll give it one more minute for a few more people to hop in here, and then we will get started because we've got a lot to talk about today. And hopefully you'll be excited about this. It's going to be some exciting stuff. It's going to be a little bit technical, but not too technical. The idea here is to give you something actionable that you can work in, although we will get into a few things that are a little bit more technical. And with those things, we'll try to keep up with that. And of course, if anyone has questions, I will be around anytime pretty much to ask those questions. You can always reach out to me after the webinar, and I'll be glad to help with those things. And it is now officially 7:03, and I'm not going to hold on for those of you who showed up on time. That's what we want to know, is we want to know that you want to know that we can get started right on time because you got here on time. So we're going to get going, and anybody who jumps in will have to catch up or watch a replay. And speaking of that, as I said, if you get in here, give me a 1 or some sort of something in the chat box, just so you know, so I know that you can hear me and that we're connecting okay. And with that, we're going to have a replay after this. So if anybody misses any part of this, or if you just want to go back and go through some of these things again, because some of them you may want to go back and learn more about, you can do that. We're going to have the replay. I've also got a special gift for everybody who sticks around to the end that will help you out a little bit as well. And we also will have the presentation available so that people can get that as well. So we're going to get started in just a moment here. So I'm going to say hello to everybody here. So let's pop this off for a second. All right. So here we go. It is now even 7:04. So we definitely want to get started. Today's goal is to help you as a local business in this area to be able to rank on the maps. And really, it's a very important thing to do because you're going to get a lot out of being on those maps. And for those of you that have businesses in this area, if you're in Grayson, you're going to want to get on those maps for Grayson. If you're in Loganville, same thing. If you're in Lawrenceville, but some of the things we talk about might actually help you to get onto the maps in some of those other areas that you don't actually have your business in. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's get back to our presentation here. So I will click on our presentation button one more time here, and then we will get started with the show. And here we go. Let me just click this back over. And we are ready to get started. So here we go. And by the way, as we go through this, if you have any questions whatsoever, throw them into the chat box. I'll get to them as we get to them. Some we may wait till the end. Some of them will jump in right away, depending upon what the question is. So again, 5 tips to rank in the Google Maps in this Google My Business course that we've put together specifically for the local area here. So the first thing we want to talk about is, what is a GMB? Now, GMB stands for Google My Business. Google My Business is it's Google's attempt to provide anybody that's doing a search with the most relevant local business info by gathering information on every business. And what we mean by that is, if you've got a business out there, Google has gone out and they've probably found you and they've put you into their database. Even if you never purposely went and did that yourself, they've probably found you and they've probably put you in there already. And we'll talk about that in just a second, and how you can take care of any issues if you are put in there by Google and you didn't do it yourself. Okay, so this is a picture of the maps here. You may have seen this before. When you do a local search, and that is, for instance, if you were to search Decula dentist, you would see a map like this, and it would list the 3 most prominent dentists, or at least the 3 that have, that Google feels are the most prominent. Okay. These different listings are going to contain your name, your address, your location. All of that stuff is going to be sitting right there, including your website, so that people can call you, they can come and visit you, they can go to your website, and that's how you're going to get a new client. Now, the sad thing is, right now, only 3 businesses are going to appear on this. So what you're seeing in this map right here are the 3 businesses that Google has decided they want to show you inside the maps. They feel these are the 3 most relevant businesses to the search that you put in. So if you put in Decula dentist, if you put in Loganville car cleaner, whatever it happens to be, they're going to tell you who they think are the 3 most prominent. Now, in this case here, I believe this search was Snellville accountants, and you can see these are the 3 accountants that showed up here. These guys here are actually right across the street from me, so I know them pretty well. But this is what Google decides is going to be the best. So the question is, how do you become the best? Because the vast majority of these clicks and calls are going to go to these 3 businesses. So if 100 people searched for accountant in Snellville, these 3 guys right here are going to get the majority of the clicks to the websites and the majority of the phone calls. They're going to get these. And the reason is because, for whatever reason, Google feels these are the best answer to the question people are asking. And the question is, who should I hire as an accountant in Snellville? When you say Snellville accountant, that's really what you're saying is, I need an accountant in Snellville. And Google says, well, these are the 3 that we feel are the best. Now, if you look on here, you'll see only 2 5-star reviews, 2 5-star reviews. This one here, no reviews. Does that sound like it's the best? Maybe, maybe not. This is what we call an opportunity, because when you've only got 3 guys here with 2 5-star ratings each and nothing on this one, you've got opportunity as an accountant to make sure that you get yourself up there, and it probably won't be that difficult. Okay. So when we talk about getting into that 3-pack, what do we need to do? Well, according to Google, they determine these positions based on 3 items: relevance, distance, and prominence. And again, this comes directly from Google. If you go into the Google Help and you search for Google My Business, this is what they will show you as being the 3 things that help them to decide who's going to be in that 3-pack. Okay. So let's talk first about relevance. This is directly from Google, by the way. Relevance refers to how well a local listing matches what someone is searching for. Adding complete and detailed business information can help Google better understand your business and match your listing to relevant searches. So what Google's saying here is, you got to set this up, and you got to set it up right. And when you do, that's going to count for something. That's how they're going to know that you're relevant, or at least one of the ways they're going to know that you're relevant. Okay. Distance. Now, this is the one that we can't really control too much. This again is directly from Google. Just like it sounds, how far is each potential search result from the location term used in a search? If a user doesn't specify a location in their search, Google will calculate distance based on what's known about their location. Now, there's a couple of things to know about this particular part right here, distance. Obviously, you can't change that. If you're on Main Street, you're going to be on Main Street. And if they're far away from Main Street, somebody else is going to get a leg up on you. If they're closer to Main Street, you're going to get a leg up on them. It's not the be all end all, but it is a factor. And it seems to be a factor more for certain types of businesses than others. For instance, a carpet cleaner, probably not that important that they're the closest one. An Italian restaurant, when you're looking to go out to eat, that might be something where the location and the distance makes a big difference. So it varies depending on business. And there's another thing to factor in here. If you're searching with a cell phone, they're going to know pretty much where you are. And as it says here, if you just search Italian restaurant and you don't put a location, it's going to know where you are and it's going to find the closest ones. It's not going to give you ones in another state just because you didn't put a location. It's going to know. The other side of this, however, is that if you're searching from your house on your home computer, it may not know exactly where you are because your IP may be designated by whoever you get your internet through. So they might give you a different area because they don't know that you're in your house. They know where your IP comes from. Sometimes they don't know where you actually are. So that can throw things off, which means that you really need to be well set up so that no matter where somebody searches for in that area, you're going to be the most prominent. Okay. So distance, again, not much, unless you're going to travel and move your business around. This is not something that you can control very much. Prominence. Now, this is the one that we can really make a difference in. Prominence refers to how well known a business is. For example, famous museums, landmark hotels, well-known store brands, keep note of that, well-known store brands, are likely to be prominent in local search results. Prominence is also based on information that Google has about businesses from across the web, like links, articles, directories. Google review count and score are factored into local search rankings. More reviews and positive ratings will improve a business's local ranking. Again, this is directly from Google themselves. Your position in web results is also a factor, so SEO best practices also apply. So again, look what they're saying there. They're talking about your website also being a factor in whether or not you show up here. So all of these things put together. Now, the one thing that I told you to keep note of is well-known store brands are likely to be prominent. So for instance, if you're a hardware store and there's a Lowe's or a Home Depot right near you, you're going to have to work extra hard because they're going to be well-known brands and they're going to get a leg up on you until you can prove that you're just as prominent, which is going to be very difficult. Okay. Getting into the 3-pack. So based on what Google said, there are some important items that we can control. We can't control our location. However, we can make sure that we claim and optimize the Google My Business listing. And we'll talk about that in just a second here. Okay. Fixing the SEO on our own websites. So you got to get in there. You got to, most people can't do SEO on their own site. So they're going to have to hire somebody to do this, but it's something you're really going to want to do because otherwise these guys are going to get all the calls and you'll be crying, at home every day, wondering why nobody's calling you on the phone. Okay. Getting more citations online. We'll talk about citations in a minute. Citations are similar to backlinks. If you ever heard of SEO and they say, oh, you got to get more backlinks, citations are kind of a similar type of thing. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Getting more positive reviews. We're going to talk about how you can do that. And then we're going to talk about videos and why videos can be a big, big factor in helping to improve not only your SEO, but your Google My Business standing and get you more traffic in other ways as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this listing right here. The first thing we need to do that we talked about is we need to claim our listing. And you can see right here, this is a listing. I purposely chose one across the country just in case somebody on here, I didn't want to do one locally and then have that person on here and then they are mad because I used them as an example. But this is all the way out in a place called Layton, Utah, which I have a couple of business partners out there. And I looked up accountants there, and you can see this is an accountant that showed up. And you'll notice that right here it says, own this business, ? Okay, what this is telling us is that Google went and found this business. They put them in here, but nobody has stepped forward and say, hey, that's me, so that they can claim it and start to work on it and make sure that it's done right. Because as we said in the last slide, or actually the slide over here, you got to make sure that you're doing all of the work on the Google My Business listing, making sure that every bit of information is in there. And these guys here have not claimed that business. They can't do that. Therefore, they're much more likely to show up lower and never make it to that 3-pack, unless everybody else is equally bad, which does happen. So let's show this live, and we'll take a look at exactly what we mean here. So give me 1 second. Okay, so here we are on that exact listing. So we looked up accountant Layton, and you'll see these guys showed up here. And right here, it actually does, they're getting some benefit out of this. Their website is listed on there, and they've also got directions to the business, but it's not claimed on here, which means it's not going to do very well in the search. You want to make sure it's done better. You want to make sure it shows up in that 3-pack. You've got to claim the business, and you've got to set it up. Now, if your business, and you can look your own business up, just type in, either your business name and a city, or you can just look up the, accountant, restaurant, whatever, and then the city, see where you show up and see if you've claimed it. If you haven't claimed it, then you need to do this right away. And the way you do that is simply by clicking this link right here. And when you do so, it's going to take you into the Google My Business page. And you can see here, it shows the company here. And it's going to say, manage this business to reply to reviews, update info, and more. Now I'm going to hit manage now. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take control of this person's account, but I am going to show you how this works. So we're going to hit manage now. And what's going to happen when you do that is Google's going to ask you to verify what you're doing. Now, this is going to take just a second here. There we go. Now, you'll notice here, we've got a couple of things going on here. Here, I can verify by phone and I can verify by email. That's actually rare. Usually, they're going to have to send you a physical card in the mail with a code number on it. So instead of saying, do it by phone or do it by email, it'll actually say, hey, we're going to mail a card to this address. And when you get that card, it's going to have, I believe, a 6-digit number. You're going to put the 6-digit number in. Here, we're going to get the 6-digit number from the phone or the email. Now, obviously, I'm not this business, so I'm not going to do that. But if I was going to claim this business, that's exactly what I would do. They would send that to me. You may get lucky and get this. Most of the time, and most people are going to get the card that they have to physically have sent. Okay? So let's take a look at an actual Google My Business page here instead, one that I control. So right here, this one is one that my partner Steve has set up, Video Marketing Madness. And I don't think it's really been optimized. It just kind of is there and it's in my account. And quite honestly, until I opened this up earlier, I didn't even realize that this one was in here because I don't do a whole lot in this account versus my other accounts where I have a lot of my my clients in. So if we were to come in here, there's a few things we can do. One, if your business does not show up and it doesn't say claim my business, you'll have the option to enter a new business. And I've got that option over here where I can add locations. You'll have a big button right in the center of the screen that'll just ask you to do that. So if I wanted to add a new business, I can hit this button here. And this is going to take me to here. I can put in a business name. So for instance, if I put in Pizza Hut, okay, and you'll see that if there's a listing that exists, it's going to show up in here, okay? And then you can go in and you can either claim it or do whatever you need to do there. So I'm going to make something up here. So we're going to call this, Zippy's Smoke Shop, because I'm sure there's not a place called Zippy's Smoke Shop. There is a Ziggy's apparently, and it's in California. So we're going to put in Zippy's Smoke Shop. Now you can see here, it doesn't know what this is. It hasn't, it doesn't pull anything up for this. So you're starting fresh with this. So we're going to hit next. And inside of here, it says, do you want to add a location customers can visit like a store or an office? Yes, this is a store. Now, if you're like a carpet cleaner, you'd probably hit no here because you're going to go out to addresses. And believe it or not, Google will actually come after you if you put yes and you're a carpet cleaner. They can give you some trouble for that. So in this case here, it's a store. So we'll hit next. And now we're going to give this a street address. It's in the United States. And we're going to call it 123 Howell Lane. All right, there we go. And that's in Loganville, Georgia. Okay, again, I'm making this up. We're going to hit next. And so now it's going to say, do you serve customers outside this location? Sure, why not? Now, again, this is a store, so maybe not. But if you were somebody like a plumber that travels multiple counties or what have you, you could put yes on this as well. So I'm going to hit next because people come from all over. Okay, so we're going to add the areas that we service. So I'm going to put Loganville. Okay, so Loganville, Georgia. And maybe we do Snellville. We'll just keep it at that for now. should probably put in Grayson and all that, but we'll just keep it at 2 for now. You can put in all the different ones that you want. It's going to find it. You can do counties as well. We're going to hit next. Then it says choose the category that best fits your business. Okay, so let's see if Smoke Shop's even in here. Not Smike, Smoke Shop. It may not even be in here, so we'll see. No, it's not. So let's see. See if it'll let me add that. It might not. No. Okay, so we're going to put Tobacco Shop. Maybe there we go. I was going to say maybe I chose a really bad one. That I've never worked with a smoke shop, but apparently Tobacco Shop is in there. Okay, so now we're going to put the contact number. I'm just going to put my phone number. The website, you can put I don't need a website, or you can get a free website based on your info. This here, by the way, what this is if you don't have a website, Google will actually take the business info that you put in here, and they'll actually create you a little website. It won't be anything special, and quite honestly, you're probably not going to rank well in the GMBs if you use it, but it can be something that you can use if you don't have anything. If you have a website, you would put it in here, and the other cool thing is we've tested this by putting in like a Facebook page, and it actually did fairly well. It did better than the built-in Google site. So when we moved it from a Google site that they had to a Facebook page until they had a website built, it actually did better for them than the built-in site. That may not be the case all the time, but that's something we discovered. So I'm just gonna put my website here. Doesn't make any sense, but just to show you how this works. So you would come in here, and you would put in your website. And you would hit next. Okay. And it says we'll be able to manage Zippy Smoke Shop on Google, promote the business, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're going to hit finish, and it should put it into our account, which we can then delete it because it's nonsense. But that's how easy it is to set this up. Now, okay, you can see here, this is where the postcard is going to come in. It's going to try and send you the postcard to this address. Obviously, this is made up. We're not going to hit mail. If this was your real address and your real business, you would hit mail, and then in a couple of days, you'd get that card with a code in it, and then you'd be able to add the code to your Google My Business listing. So we're going to get out of this because it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're going to come out here, and I'm actually going to, if you ever need to do this, you can get rid of one. So I'm actually going to come in here, and I'm going to remove that location, just like so, to get it out of there. And in just a second, it will be gone. Maybe. Give that a second. And if anyone has any questions, of course, please feel free to post them into the chat, and we'll be glad to jump in and talk about those, answer any questions you have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this one here, because this is actually one that I set up for my location here. And you can see we've got some images in here, and you've got information about the business. So you can see how many views, how many searches, activity. Okay, you can see down here. And this is one, by the way, that is kind of neglected because I don't do a lot with my own business locally. One cool thing you'll notice on here, and this is something that you'll want to pay attention to, is you're going to have the view on maps and view on search buttons here, which are going to be great for sharing this later. So that if you ever wonder how to get your link, you can get it right through here. Okay. Now in here, once you're inside, you're going to see a bunch of different things. You're going to see home, posts, info, insights, reviews, messaging, photos, products, services, website, and users. This is the stuff that you need to start filling in right away. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy into this because we don't want this to be a 5-hour webinar, but in here, the first thing you're going to want to go into is the info. Inside of here, you're going to have your name, and you can see I've got Ray the Video Guy, Video and Marketing. So if you're an Italian restaurant, you would put in the name. Right next door is Provino's. We would put Provino's Italian Restaurant. If you were a plumber, same thing. You'd put in your name in here, okay? Now down here, you have categories. Now you can see I've got a whole bunch of different ones in here. One of the biggest secrets to filling this out is fill out every category. People often think that you only have one category that you can put in. So if you're a plumber, you'd put in plumber. However, if you come in here, you'll see that you have a primary, and then you have additional ones. So for instance, let's see, we've got some room to add another one. So if I was a plumber, I might come in here and I'd put in plumb, okay? And you can see plumber, plumbing supply store, okay? So those are the only ones for that. But then put in other things that you might do, like maybe, I don't know, water heaters. I don't know if that's in here or not, probably not, but you can start to put in, maybe you do, maybe you're a plumber, maybe you do HVAC work as well. So you could put in HVAC contractor. So anything like that, you can start adding different things in there. For my dental clients, I've found that usually under most dental searches, dentist is the most popular one, but there's also dental clinic, there's dental hygienist, dental radiology, dental laboratory, dental care center, dental insurance, dental implants. So all of those things can be added as categories. And you can see that I've added a bunch of them in here. I'm going to get rid of this one here for now. Okay, so you can see that all of those categories are going to make it easier for people to find me. So you want to put in as many as you can. And I'm not sure how many there are. I believe there's 10 that you can add in. And once you hit 10, it won't let you put any more. Chances are you're not going to have more than 10. For the dollar store that I worked with downstairs, we easily took 10 because they sell hardware, they sell kitchenware, they sell all sorts of different things that we were able to put in there. Make sure your address is correct. Okay, hopefully it is. Usually it is. Service areas. This is where you can come in and you can add some of the service areas. Okay, you can see I've added all the towns around here, Grayson, Decula, Lawrenceville, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure that you fill that in. Put in your hours. So these are the hours that you're actually open that people can contact you. You may be 24 hours. And if you are, put that in here as well. If you're an emergency plumber and you work 24 hours a day, make sure that you put that in there. That can be very important. Special hours, you can add those in here. Phone number, website, appointment URL, et cetera, highlights. If you got any services you want to add, you can add those in here. Products, you can add those in here. So services, you come in here, you can add all sorts of things in here. You can see I've added a bunch of them in here. Okay, so all you have to do is come in and start to add all sorts of services in here. Hit add another category, start putting it in here. You know, if we were a dentist, we might put dentist and start filling in those services, okay? So make sure that you fill those in. A lot of people don't even know that that's there. Coming back down here, you can see products. This is where you can add individual products that you sell with pictures. So in the case of the convenience store downstairs, or the dollar store rather, we would put in like balloons and pricings and all of that kind of stuff. And that helps Google to know exactly what they offer. So if you can put in product after product after product, and it doesn't have to be, you know, traditional products that you might see. Like you can see here, we'll hit get started here. You can put a product, a picture, put in a category, a description, a price, and you can do a price range, more information on the product, and you can add a button here like buy now, learn more, etc. Okay, so do that with as many products as you can because it's only going to help you to get found much easier inside of the Google My Business. So let's go back to our info here. Come down here. You got the highlights. So if you need to add highlights, you can do that. If it's veteran led, women led, so there's different highlights you can add into that. And then you want to put in your information. You can see I've got a nice long description in here. When it opened, it says February 2018. That's when I opened at this location. And then you can add photos. And we're going to talk about photos in just a second. So in fact, let's go down here. Insights. Don't worry about that immediately. We'll skip that for now. That's going to be something, once you start building this up, you'll want to look at that. That's going to give you a lot of the analytics. Reviews. We want to get more reviews. We're going to talk about that in a second. This is where you can see some of those reviews and you can reply to them. Very important to reply to the reviews whenever you can, okay? Messaging. This is going to allow you to message with folks here. So you can add this on. You can see you put your phone number in and then people can message you. Now, photos. Photos here is kind of a misnomer because it's photos and videos. And you can see you've got a bunch of different categories here. Now, I will tell you this. I did make one mistake, so don't do what I did on this particular one. I had lots of photos and lots of videos, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let's test something out here. And I uploaded about 300 images and 300 videos. Don't do that. You're only supposed to have, I think, about 100 at a time, and I put in 600, and it screwed the whole thing up. I had to get Google's help and everything, so don't do that. Add just enough as you can. In here, you're going to see this is the overview with all of the different items in here. You can see I got lots and lots of stuff in here, and it's crazy, and it's still loading. So in here, you've got stuff by owner, so this is all the stuff that you upload. By customer, this is stuff that other people upload of you. So what people can do is when they leave a review, they can put in pictures. This happens a lot at restaurants. They'll take pictures of their food, they'll upload it to the review, and that's going to show up in here. 360, if you've got 360 images, which you can see right here, this is something that you can add to your Google My Business, and this is something Google likes to see. They want to see you add these things in here. This one should have more, and I'm going to be adding more into this. Videos, obviously we talked about, we got a ton of videos in here. Then you've got interior shots. These are in shots of the inside. Now, actually, I need to update these. This is the old office down the way here. The new one's a little bit different. You got exterior shots. At work. So these are all things from at work. Team. We don't really have a team, but I do need to upload some pictures there of myself and maybe my brother-in-law who helps me out once in a while. And then identity. This is where you're going to get your cover and your logo image. Okay. So all of these things are going to help you to look better in Google. So you want to fill all of these things out whenever possible. Website. Again, this is where you're going to put in your website. Okay. And by the way, this is that built-in website that I talked about from Google. You can see there it is. So that's what they build. They take that information that you've uploaded into your Google My Business and they make a page for you if you don't have one. Users, this is going to be if you've got people that are going to help you out, you can add them in here. So you can add another person, so you can invite people. Okay. And then that way, somebody who helps you out can come in and work on this for you. If you hire somebody, you'll want to add them as a user. Okay. And so that's the basics. You want to make sure you fill all of these things out as best as possible. Go in there and experiment. Make sure that you really start to get these things in here. And the other one I want to talk about is posts. So posts are similar to a Facebook post. You can come in here, you can upload a message and an image, and it's much like a social media site. So you want to go in and do this. They recommend that if you do this a couple times a week, that it's going to make a big difference in your marketing. So make sure that you come in here and do that. And it's very easy to do. You can add an update, add an event, add an offer, add a product right from here. So you just come in here, you upload an image, write your post, and then you can even add a button here. So if let's say you're going to give something away, you could put, learn more. You can put buy, you can order online, whatever you want to do, that's going to help. If you want people to call you, you can put call and then publish that and you'll have a post. So try to do that once a week or so. If you're going to do a special event, make sure you do that. And that's just going to help you to really, make a difference and get Google to really pay attention to what you're doing. We like to try to get people to post new things about once or twice a week, if possible. That's what we'd like to get people to. Okay, so that is the optimization and claiming of your channel or your Google My Business. So let's go back to our presentation here. So the next thing I want to talk about, and this one will be a little bit short because like I said, you may want to get a professional involved in this, and that's your SEO on your website. Okay. Google looks to your attached website to determine the validity of your business. So in other words, what I'm saying there is they're going to, when you attach a website, so johnsplumbing.com, and you attach that to the Google My Business page, they are actually going to look at that page and decide, is this the best answer to when somebody says, I'm looking for a plumber? If the website isn't well done, if it's not well optimized, if it doesn't rank well, if it doesn't have good SEO, they're probably not going to give you much love inside the Google My Business. So you really need to make sure that you optimize this. The more complete your website, the better the SEO it has, then the more likely you're going to rank in Google My Business. It's that simple. So you got to take care of these things. And it's not always about SEO. There's a lot of factors that you want to make sure that you take care of with this. So it is best to consult with a professional about SEO, but here are some basic tips. Make sure that you have unique titles on your pages. So if you've ever opened up your website inside of Chrome or Safari and the little tab pops up, it's going to have the title of that page in the tab. You want to make sure that each of your pages has a unique title that makes sense. So for instance, if we were on a dentist site and we hit about veneers, we would want that title that shows up in the tab to say, veneers or, Loganville veneers, whatever. And that way each one has a unique title that actually makes sense for that particular page. You want to create a page for each service that you do. And if you can, match it to the categories in Google My Business. So we showed you in the dental area that there was dentist, there was dental clinic, there was dental hygienist. So you want to find those categories that you put in there for your business. And then inside your site, make a page for each one of those categories, fill it in with a lot of information, and then Google will see that you match up with their categories. That's kind of one of those little ninja tricks that people do, but you want to make sure that you at least have a page for all the things that you do so Google can find it. And you want to, if possible, have it be johnsdentalservice.com/veneers, John's Dental Service /tooth whitening. et cetera, et cetera. And that way it's easy for them to find it. It makes sense. The category in your site matches their categories and gives a lot of information. That's what you want to do to make sure that that is what people are seeing, okay, and what Google is seeing. Make sure that your name, address, and phone number are on your pages. Very, very important. What I would recommend is, right at the bottom of your page, in the footer of your page, that's on all of your pages, your name, the name of your company, your address, your phone number. And by the way, make sure it 100% matches what Google says that is. Now, if you're using tracking numbers and things like that, make sure on your website that you're using the real number, the number that matches the Google My Business listing, because Google is looking for that name, address, and phone number exactly as they see it. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Make sure there's a lot of detailed text on your pages. That's how Google knows about your business. They know what you're about by reading the text that's on the page. It's not necessarily a human that's doing it. So they need to have text. The bots that come and they spider all these sites, they need to have text in order to understand what the page is about. And that goes for your images. If you put images on the page, you need to make sure that the images have names that match. So if you're on the dental veneers page on a dentist site, the image that's on there needs to say, dental veneers or whatever, something that matches what that's about so that they can give you better SEO clarity on that. Okay. And then embed videos on your pages. We're going to talk a lot about videos in a couple of minutes, but make sure that you've got videos on your pages because that will be a big help for getting your site to rank better. Make sure that you fill in the metadata. Now, metadata is kind of the hidden stuff that's inside the code of your site that tells the search engines what your site is about. It has the title in there. It has an about, and it even has keywords, which don't really get used by Google as much, but some of the other search engines may still use that. So it's good to have that information in there. Again, consult a professional if you don't know what that is. If you have a WordPress site, and I'm sure many of you do, use a tool like Yoast that will guide you through all the SEO. If you hire somebody, they're probably going to use that as well. But if you can get Yoast, go in there, fill out all that information. It's going to be a big help for your SEO. Prominently show your phone number at the top of this page. I cannot tell you how many times I've been to a website. In fact, before this webinar, one of the companies locally here that contacted me, I looked up their website and there was no phone number on the page at all. And they're a business that you have to call to set up an appointment, and they didn't have a phone number. Now, if you went to the bottom of the page, there was none on the home page at all. You had to go to the Contact Us page, and then inside there was a phone number, but there was no phone number at the top, no phone number at the bottom. So make sure you have that in there, because remember, we're not just doing SEO for the search engines. We want to make sure that we're doing things right for the people that visit the sites as well. Okay, so make sure you do that. Create pages about the various cities and locations in the area. This can help you get into other GMB maps. Okay, so remember we talked about if you're a plumber in Grayson, you're going to show up in Grayson, but you may not show up in Loganville. You may not show up in Lawrenceville. You may not show up in Snellville. But there are ways to kind of try and game the system a little bit. And one of the ways to do that is by having local pages on your site. So maybe you go in and you have if you're in Grayson, you've got a page about Lawrenceville, a page about Loganville, a page about Snellville. And in those pages, you put all the information and you gear it towards that local location. Sometimes that can help you to start to show up in those other locations. You can also do this with non-town locations. So for instance, if there's a specific community in the area, you can create a page for that community that may not be an actual town. And that can help you to rank when people are searching from that area. So those are all things that you want to do to really try to game as much as you can. Now, we're not trying to fool Google. We're not trying to do anything crazy, but we want to make sure that we're taking the most steps we possibly can with our SEO. And again, much like with legal, you want to consult a professional and not necessarily listen to what I say as far as this stuff goes. You want to get a professional to really look at this stuff for you. Citations. This is one of the things that people do not understand very well, but is very, very important when it comes to Google My Business. Citations are places online where Google finds your business name, address, and phone number. We call that the NAP, name, address, phone number. Okay. So when you have a blog or you write an article or you're posting in social media or you've got a social media page, you're doing directories like Yellow Pages and Dex, you've got videos, these places, you want to make sure that you put the name, address, and phone number everywhere you can. So if you set up a Twitter account, make sure that in that about section, you've got your name, address, and phone number in there. If you set up a Facebook page, make sure that name, address, and phone number is in there. And again, make sure these match exactly what Google says. Okay, you want to make sure that it's exactly the same. You don't want to have, if Google says you are North Main Street, N-O-R-T-H, you don't want to put N period. You don't want to put N-O period. You want to put exactly what Google says so that they see that and it's a citation. For those of you who have heard of backlinks in your SEO, citations are a similar idea to that. There's not an actual link, but Google is searching for something on other sites, and every time it finds it, it's like a yes vote to your credibility. So you want to make sure that you put that everywhere you can, these citations. So how do you get citations? Well, just like I said, make sure that NAP is in your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever you have, make sure it's there. Blogs. If you do a blog, put it on, on a different site, by the way. If the blog is on your page, it's not going to matter as much. If you want to use something like Blogger, which is a Google property, and by the way, anytime you can work with a Google property, something Google owns, that's going to be good for you. Start a Blogger blog, put that name, address, phone number there, and that's going to provide these citations back. You definitely want to do that. Directories, get in them all. So Yellow Pages, Dex, you want to get into every directory you can. And you want to start using videos and put citations in there. And that's going to be a very powerful way that we're going to talk about specifically in just a couple minutes. So going back to the directories, directories are kind of a special type of citation. Google looks at these very closely. These are sites that are specifically meant for providing business information to potential clients. So people are searching for you. Aside from getting a citation, these sites can also rank and get you customers. Yelp, Yellow Pages. People are going to find you on those sites, and regardless of the SEO benefit, they're going to find you and they're going to call you. Yelp, especially because every iOS device, if you're on an iOS device, the default map search is powered by Yelp. So you want to make sure that you're in Yelp. That's probably the second most important thing you can do other than Google itself. Popular directories to include yourself in: Yellow Pages, Dex, Bing, Yahoo, Facebook, Foursquare, Insider Pages, Merchant Circle, Super Pages, Local.com, TripAdvisor, Judy's Book, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Best of Web, Hot Frog, Local. All of these sites you want to get in, and more if you can. All of these are going to provide you very powerful citations back to that Google My Business listing, okay? Now, like I said, you want to make sure that you get the exact information. So what I like to do when I'm working with a client is I search them on Google, and I literally copy the name, the address, and the phone number. Whatever Google says that is what I'm going to use, because you need to make sure it's exactly the same so that Google can find it. And again, if you put, this says BLVD. So if you put Boulevard, it's probably still going to find it. It's probably not going to be an issue, but why take the chance? Use exactly what they say. Make sure that you do that, okay? Very, very important. All right, so the next big thing is reviews, and I'm sure many of you have thought a lot about reviews in the past. Reviews, very, very important when it comes to Google My Business and when it comes to people themselves, okay? Now it says here, the reviews are important for Google My Business ranking, but they're also equally important from a user level. Nobody chooses the one-star dentist, okay? And they will usually choose the guy with 100 5-star ratings over the guy with 2 5-star ratings. So in other words, people are going to look and see who's got the best ratings and who's got the most ratings. Now, if you got the most ratings and you're a 1-star, that's not going to help you much. It's just advertising that you're terrible. But if you've got 100 5-star ratings, you're going to most likely get the phone call over somebody with a 2-star rating. And there was a recent study that showed up to 1,000% more clicks went to the company with more 5-star ratings. So both of them showed up in Google My Business in the maps, but one of them had a whole bunch of ratings. One of them only had a couple. Both were 5-star. The person who had a whole bunch of 5-star got way more calls, 10 times as much. And so that's something you really need to think about, is building those reviews. And you need to look at what other people have. If you're a dentist, look at the other dentists. Does the top one have 20 or do they have 200? If they have 200, you need to have, 250. If they've got 20, you need to have 250. And you need to really actively work on this. And some great ways to get reviews. first and foremost, ask people to do it as often as possible. If you're a dentist and they walk into your office, they just got their teeth cleaned, ask them for a review right then and there before they even leave the building. Ask them to give a review. If you're a carpet cleaner and you're at their house, before you leave that house, ask them to leave a review. They can do it with their phone right then and there. Okay. If they come into an office, you could have a sign with info, so literally telling people how to do it. Or you could even have a QR code. They can literally scan the QR code. It will take them to the review area of Google, and they can leave a review. Do that. Do that as often as you can. Get people to take action. Email past customers and ask them to review you. Hopefully everybody's got a list of emails of their customers. If they do, go back, ask them for 5-star reviews. Okay. Now there is one issue with this. You may ask people for reviews and they may leave you a 1-star review. So you have to be careful with this. Make sure that you're giving 5-star service so that everybody you reach out to is going to say, these guys are 5 stars or at least 4 stars. You're occasionally going to get somebody who is upset about something, who's going to leave something bad, but you need to reach out to people and take the chance because it's going to help you to grow if you can get those people to do that. If you're a dentist or a carpet cleaner or an electrician, you probably have lots and lots of customers that you've worked with. Send out emails, get them to review you. Now, there are some great systems out there that will help you with this. And we'll talk about those in a second. Some of those systems, what they'll do is they'll have people leave a review for you internally with your system. And then when they leave a 5-star review, it'll say, hey, would you mind leaving this on Facebook or on Google or on Yelp? And then they can click over and leave the review there. If they give a 1 or a 2-star review, it'll say, hey, what went wrong and how can we help? Now, if you're doing it properly, it's still going to give them the option to leave that on Google or Facebook or Yelp or whatever, but it's less prominent. Okay, so you do have to make sure to follow the rules of Google. You do have to, if you're going to do that internal review and you're going to ask the 5 stars to do it, you have to give the rest of the people the option or you're breaking the terms of service. Will they catch you? Probably not, but you want to make sure that at least that option is there so that you're staying, within their terms of service. Incentivize customers legally. Okay, so this is very important. According to Google, and more importantly, according to Yelp, you cannot do something like leave us a 5-star review and we'll give you a free pizza. You can't do that because that is asking people for a 5-star review. However, there is some gray area with this where you could say, leave us a review or, tell us how we did and we'll give you a pizza. So you're incentivizing them to tell you, not to give you a 5-star review. So if you put that in with what we talked about here with some of these other products, they can get that pizza by leaving a review internally with you. And then you can ask them to do those other things, but you're not incentivizing them to give you a 5-star. You're incentivizing them to just leave a review. Again, a bit of a gray area, but something that can be done if it's done properly. Use a reputation software to reach out and syndicate reviews. This is what we talked about just a second ago when I said that there are some systems out there, and there's a few of them out there that we really like. One of them is RepKahuna. This is the one that I use for my clients. It's a great system, not only for me as a manager, but it's a great system for the company because it builds an entire back end that you can log into, that I can log into. We can reach out to customers. We can monitor reviews on all sorts of sites. We can respond to reviews. We can make sure that we're hooked up on all the different pages. Okay. And then it will also make sure that your good reviews are being syndicated out so that every time you get a review, it's going to go out to Facebook and people on Facebook are going to see, hey, this is the 5-star review I just got. So very important that you take care of that with one of these types of programs because it can make a big difference and make life a lot easier. Another one is Birdeye. This is another one that allows you to do the same types of things that we just talked about. It reaches out to past customers. This one's gotten a kind of a tough reputation of late, but it's still a great program. I would recommend you check it out. And then iReview. iReview is another one that is a really good one, especially if you want people to leave reviews right away. So what this one does is it has that similar system where if they leave a great review, it's going to ask them to syndicate it. If they leave a bad review, it's going to ask them to give it internally to see how you can help. Still going to give them that option, but it's going to incentivize people to leave bad reviews inside so they can get a response. What's great about iReview is it's specific to working with mobile phones, in that, let's say you're a carpet cleaner, you come, you clean the carpet, and as soon as you're walking out the door, you can send them a text immediately and they can leave a review right then and there. And that's going to make a big help for, getting the reviews quickly. And if they come to your place and you're a dentist, as soon as they walk out the office door, you can send them that text. So whatever business you run, you can send them a text immediately where they can go in and they can leave their review, and it's going to be instantaneous. You don't want people forgetting about it. Okay. All right. So now this is the one thing that we've developed over the last year or so that I think makes one of the biggest differences when it comes to Google My Business, SEO, and your overall marketing. And that is using videos properly for all of this. Now, for anybody who's left already, you're missing one of the most important parts of this, because this is going to tie everything together here. Why videos? Well, videos hold a very special position when it comes to local marketing. One, they can provide direct information in an attention-grabbing way. So obviously, people love to watch video. You're going to give them videos that have information. They're going to absorb that information through their eyes, through their ears, and it's going to make a big difference there. So that's the traditional video, watching it, getting information out there, the TV ad, whatever it happens to be. That's what's going to get their attention and get them to remember what you're saying. However, videos can improve your SEO. We talked about that a tiny bit earlier, and I'm going to get more into that in a second. They can improve your Google My Business in a couple of ways. They can also rank on Google by themselves. So you can literally put in a video, make sure it's optimized, and it'll show up on page 1 of Google. Not all the time, and it's getting a little bit tougher these days. Google seems to go back and forth. It's easy, it's hard, it's easy, it's hard. Right now, it's getting a little tougher to do that, but it will probably come back as they change things again. Okay, so one ranking factor for GMBs that we talked about is citations. If you have a YouTube channel, you can get hundreds of citations very quickly and easily. And the way you do that is you're going to put your name, address, and phone number into the about area of your YouTube channel. You're going to put that same NAP information into the description of every single video. You're going to put the NAP in the description of your playlists. And then if you syndicate out your videos with the descriptions, they will all have that NAP information being sent out to a whole bunch of locations. And I made a little chart here to kind of show you what I mean by this. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your YouTube channel about section, and you're going to have one citation for having a name, address, and phone number in there. So this is the part of your channel where it gives you all of your information about you and your channel. And then you're going to put that name, address, and phone number in that about area. And that's going to give you the first citation. Next, you're going to upload your videos. And when you upload your videos, you're going to make playlists of those videos. Okay, so let's say that you upload 5 videos and you create 3 playlists with 2 videos in this one, 2 in this one, 2 in this one. And by the way, you can make as many playlists as you want. You can make hundreds of these if you wanted. But in this case here, we made 3 playlists. Each one of those playlists has a description where we put information, and then we put the name, address, and phone number inside those playlists. So that's going to give you 3 citations. Now those citations, let me go back there. Well, where'd I go? There we go. So inside of there, you've got your 5 videos. Each one of those 5 videos is going to have a citation in it as well. You're going to fill out the video. You're going to make sure a citation is in there. So you've got 3 citations here, 5 citations here, 1 citation here. Now, if you go out and you syndicate your videos to 20 syndication sites. Now, these are all the typical, social media sites, Web 2.0 sites, bookmarking sites, and we'll talk about those in a second. I'll show you what those are. You send your video out to 20 of those, 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, and 20 here. You've already built 109 citations. You put a new video every week, and you add it to a new playlist or add it to an existing playlist. You're going to keep building these, and you syndicate it out each time. If you put a new video every week, you're going to keep growing and growing and growing these citations. And it's going to make a big difference in your Google My Business over time. Okay. Embedding your videos. This is another way that can help in a few different ways. So you're going to take your video that you've already optimized. You're going to put that video on your website, and that's going to actually help the SEO of your website. And when you improve the SEO of your website, you improve the SEO of your Google My Business page, and both will rank higher. And at the same time, when you embed a YouTube video in a page, it can help that YouTube video to get better rankings as well. So all three of these are going to get better rankings by simply embedding that video into the site. Okay. So again, improving the SEO of your site will improve the ranking of the Google My Business listing. So you want to do that as much as you can. So what does an optimized video actually have? An optimized video is going to have a keyword-rich title, usually the subject of the video, and then the branding. So as an example here, Decula Plumber dash John's Plumbing Service. So you've got Decula Plumbing is the keyword you're trying to rank for. John's Plumbing Service is the name of the company. In the middle here, if you got room, you could put the phone number in the title as well. And so then you would have Decula Plumber, 888-888-8888, John's Plumbing Service. And the good thing about that is that's going to put that phone number right dead center. So even if people don't watch the video, they're going to have that phone number. You're going to have the keyword again in the top of the description. So again, Decula Plumber will be at the top of that description because that's your keyword. Your contact information and website link to the matching page on your site. And you must have http:// so that people can click on it. Otherwise, it's not going to be clickable. But what you want to have here is you want to say, if you're looking for a plumber, contact John's Plumbing at 888-888-8888 or visit, and then put the link to that website. Now, if this plumbing video here is about replacing a water heater, then you want to have a link to the water heater page for this video. If you've got a video just about plumbing in general, it may be to the front page of your site. But if it's a specific video, you want to go to an internal page that's about that subject. And that's going to be a big difference, okay? Then you want to put the description of the video itself. So if it's about the water heaters, you want to put information about your plumbing service doing water heater stuff. Down below that, a description of the company. John's Plumbing's been in business for 20 years. We've had 3,000 customers. Everybody loves us. We got 5-star reviews. Whatever it is that you put probably on your about page in your website is what can go there. Okay. Next, you're going to put that GMB information. You're going to put that name, address, and phone number exactly as Google says it should be. You're going to put that in there. You're going to put a link to the GMB listing. So literally, you're going to get that. Remember, I showed you earlier how you can grab the link to the Google My Business right from your info section. You're going to put that in there as well. So now you're building a backlink on each of those videos to the Google My Business listing, and that's going to help it to rank as well. Link 3 to 5 5-star reviews. So you're going to go out to your Google My Business page. You're going to get the link. There's going to be a little share link next to any 5-star reviews and any 1-star reviews, but in this case, 5-star. You're going to get that share link, and you're going to put something like, take a look at some of our 5-star reviews. Put a link to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in there. And that's going to give you what we call internal links. Just like we talked about on your website, we're going to give internal links to the Google My Business listing. That's going to help it to rank better as well. Then you want to put a link to another video. That's just going to help to build the power of your channel in general, and it's going to build all the videos up. Hashtags. YouTube actually does hashtags. People don't necessarily realize this, but hashtags work in there. So if you put hashtag plumbing, it's going to put that hashtag in there, and it's going to link you to any other videos that have hashtag plumbing. You could put hashtag Snellville, and then it's going to link that video to any other videos that are hashtag Snellville. So that can get you some more views. So you want to make sure you do that. Hashtag your name, hashtag John's Plumbing, all one word. That'll link all of your plumbing videos together, okay? And then below that, you have your tags. Make sure you put all of your keywords in there. So in the case of John's Plumbing, you're going to put Decula Plumber. Maybe you'd put Loganville Plumber. Maybe you'd put Snellville Plumber. Plumber, best Snellville Plumber, best Loganville Plumber. Water heater replacement Snellville, water heater replacement Decula. All those things are going to go in there. John's Plumbing. Anything that's a keyword you want to put in there as a tag, and that's just going to help to optimize that. Okay, so once the videos are optimized, that's when you want to embed them into the matching page on the website like we talked about earlier. So for example, if the video is about root canals on a dental site, it would be embedded on the root canal page of that dental site. And that's going to be what gives you that internal link. It's going to help raise that page. And when that page raises, it's going to raise inside of Google itself. It's also going to help the Google My Business to rank better as well. So you want to make sure that you do that. Next, you want to take those videos and you want to syndicate them out to as many sites as possible. So some of the top sites would be to syndicate it out to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Dig, Delicious, Digo, Reddit, Slashdot, LiveJournal, Plurk, any blogs that you have. So these can be on Tumblr, these can be on Blogger, whatever you have, do it. WordPress, anything that you have, put it out there. And then anywhere else that you can find as well. So if you've got other sites that you like or other sites you know of, get it out there. Just make sure that when you syndicate that video, that you make sure the name, address, and phone number is with the description of that video. You can use a site like onlywire.com. That will allow you to syndicate out to a whole bunch of sites all at once. You literally go in, you make one posting, make sure that name, address, and phone number is in there. You hit go, and it's going to automatically send that video out to all the different sites. And it's going to do it all at once, very, very simply and easily. And it's going to build. That's how you're going to get all of those citations, is by doing that. Post your videos to your Google My Business listing. This is something we kind of mentioned earlier, but people don't realize you can upload a video to your Google My Business listing. So you want to make sure that any videos that you have, post them into that Google My Business listing. Use it as an actual post, but also upload it into the photos area. Those will help to make sure that your Google My Business page is having a lot of activity, has a lot of information, and that's going to get Google to notice, hey, these guys are a legitimate business. They're constantly using their GMB page. Therefore, they must be legitimate. We're going to boost them up. Okay. So just like with images, you can post videos that will both help customers to learn about you and help satisfy Google's need for content. They want to see that you're producing content on that Google My Business page. Very important. Okay. So there you go. You did it. It took exactly an hour, which is pretty good. I'm shocked it took exactly an hour, but you now have the basics of what you need to start improving your Google My Business listing and get more hot leads. And that's what we want. We want these hot leads. And don't worry if this seems a little bit overwhelming. You can watch this presentation as many times as you want. We're going to send out to anybody who signed up. You're going to automatically get the replay link for this. It's actually the same link you probably used to get here. If you use that link again, it's going to show you the replay. So you can definitely check that out over and over again. We'll probably also post a link to this in social media and different things, so you can grab it there as well. So, need any help? Overwhelmed? Not understanding some of this? Need more information? I am here to help. You can call me, you can text me, and I will be glad to help you in any way that I can. You can call or text me. My number is right on the screen here. So it's 801-821-0802. That phone number is from out of state, but I'm actually here in Snellville. So don't be afraid about that number. My email, you can send me an email, ray@raythevideoguy.com anytime you want. I'll be glad to answer any questions you have and help you out. And just so you know, we do have marketing and video packages that are available that will help you to get these hot leads. Everything we talked about here is what I do for clients. I create all of those video properties that we talked about. I make sure that the Google My Business pages are set up properly. I make sure that you're posting to those. I make sure that the videos are syndicated out, that your posts are syndicated out. We make sure that you get more 5-star reviews with our review platform. And we make sure that when you get 5-star reviews, we send those out as graphics to all of your social media so that people see those 5-star reviews. And you're putting out content. It's going to help with Facebook content and Twitter content so that they see you're constantly putting out content. The more content you put out, the more likely you're going to be found on those properties as well. So it satisfies that need. We also have a great video program that takes your 5-star reviews, turns them into a video with a spokesperson, and syndicates those out to all the different sites like Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and whatever else. And those people will then see these videos that you put out. It'll put them on YouTube as well. It'll get that citation. So you'll constantly be getting new citations. So if you're interested in any of those things, feel free to reach out, contact me. Again, my number's on the screen here. We're here to help you with that. So let's look at some of the questions that we have here. And if you have questions you haven't asked them yet, please feel free to put them in here and I will be glad to answer anything that you have. All right, John wants to know more about posting videos to Google My Business. All right, so John, the way that works is actually really, really easy. In fact, let me go back out again to the Google My Business page. So I'm going to flip back over here. Okay, so what you want to do is when you come out here into your photos area, which is right here, you can actually upload photos into the system here. Now, I'm going to go out of this one because, as I told you, I kind of uploaded tons and tons, and that was not a smart idea. So what we can do, let's go into another one here. Let's go into this travel bug one here. So we'll take a look at this one here. So you come in here to photos, okay? And you can come in, this is one that we haven't really done anything with yet. So you can come in here and we can upload stuff. So here you'd upload your logo. Here you'd upload your cover image. Here you could upload videos. Here you can upload interiors, etc., etc. And if you go into any of these like owner, you can upload videos here. You got a video, you got an interior. You just come in here, hit post photos. You would grab a shot of an interior that you've taken. And by the way, I recommend that you do that. Go outside your building, take a bunch of shots. Go inside, take a bunch of shots of the different rooms. Make sure that you post them into here so that you get as many of these as possible. Exteriors, same thing. You want to make sure that you get the exteriors at work. Take pictures of people working, doing different things, work that you've done. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a shot of the secretary picking up the phone. It can be shots of things you've created, etc. Okay. Shots of the team. These would be headshots of people. If you're a law office, if you're a dental office, get shots of everybody that works there. Put those into there. But with the videos, you're just going to come here. You're going to hit post videos. You're going to upload a video and boom, it's going to be in there. Okay. So very easy. And it works very, very well. It's going to help you to rank a lot better by doing that. Okay. So Mike wants to know inside the Google My Business. Okay, how do we know how to change the hours? All right, so it's right here, Mike. Just click on this here, and you can do open 24 hours, or you can come in here and say closed. You can come in here and you can change the hours of operation. So you could say I'm open from 8 o'clock to, let's say we're open till 5 o'clock, okay? And if you've got split, you can add hours. So maybe you're here from 8 to 12 and then from 2 to 5. You can do that by hitting add hours. And you would just go through and do that with each of these here. Okay. Nice and simple. Let's see. Social media. How important is social media to this? Social media is important in a couple of different ways. So with social media, you've got two different things that are going on. One, you've got the fact that you're putting stuff on social media and people are seeing it. So being active on social media, and by the way, Facebook recommends that you do like 3 to 5 posts a week at least. So you want to be putting something there almost every day. And it can be something simple. It could just be a quote of the day. It could be an image of the day. It could be a happy customer. If you're familiar with escape rooms, okay, those are those games where you go in and they lock you into a room and you got to solve puzzles to get out. Those guys are fantastic with things like Instagram and social media because everybody that comes in and out of there, they're taking pictures of saying we escaped or we didn't escape and posting them out there. You need to be doing that. If you're a dentist, try to post happy customer pictures, post dental quotes, post information, anything that you can, get it out there because the more you post, the more likely Facebook is to show your business to people and you're going to get a direct result from that. But of course, inside of those social media, you want to make sure that you post that name, address, and phone number to get the citations. Okay, so let's see. How long does it take for a Google My Business listing to move up? That honestly, unfortunately, that's like saying, how long is a piece of string? Well, it can vary. I would say you gotta put in some effort, and you're probably not going to see anything for 60 to 90 days. In some situations, you may see it a lot quicker. We've seen some people jump up, in a couple of days just by doing the proper things in a market where maybe there's not somebody that's really doing the proper things. So if you've got, competition that's there, like I say, by default, then you may leapfrog them pretty quickly because you're the only one doing stuff. However, if you've got competition and you're really working at it, it might take 60 to 90 days. It might even take longer in some cases. So you really have to put in an effort. You have to be patient and you really have to, have a plan that you really want to do this. You've got constant information going out. You've got constant posts going in. You're constantly adding pictures. You are, creating those videos and having those citations. Okay. You're posting things on social media that link back to the Google My Business page or to your website. You're working on that SEO all the time, constantly trying to improve that, making blogs that point back and have the name, address, phone number. All of those things are going to take effort. And I know, if you're a plumber, you're busy fixing plumbing issues. If you're a dentist, you're working on people's teeth. This can be hard. But if you've got somebody that, let's say answers your phones and, they're there for 8 hours answering phones, and then there's 10 minutes in between, they could be posting pictures. They could be helping you post items. They could be, doing whatever, setting different things up. And of course, asking people to leave reviews, because that is a critical part of this. Okay, so make sure that you do that. And speaking of reviews, the next question comes in here and says, how many reviews should you have? Well, that's an easy answer, as many as you possibly can. In many locations, so let's do a search here just to have some fun. I'm going to put in Dacula Dentist. Okay, and so if we pull that up here, and you can see the top one here, 129, 50, 363. Okay, now again, let's look at this. Why is this one that has 363 number 3 when it's a 4.8 and this is a 4.7? Chances are I'm probably closer physically to this one. And again, I'm on a desktop right now, so I don't know where they're saying I'm actually located, but chances are this one here is a little bit closer. Or maybe their website is better SEO'd. It could be one of a few things. But you'll see here, if we hit more places, and we come here, which, by the way, don't be fooled by this. Hardly anybody hits that more places except for people like me. So chances are they're not going to get this far to see you. So you need to be in that top 3. So if we look at here, 363, we got 5, we got 43, we got 3, we got 18. We've got none. 71, we got 207, 25, 211, 19, 85. So really, your goal here is you got to beat 363, I would think. And that's going to take a long time to do that. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to get everybody that you can to review as they leave your office. You're going to need to go back to those past customers and ask as many as possible. Ask on social media. Ask friends to leave a review. Ask business associates to leave a review. Ask people that work with you to leave reviews. Not all reviews have to be, I'm a client of Dentist X and he did a great job. It can be something as simple as hygienist saying, hey, I've worked with Dr. So-and-so for 10 years and he's a great dentist. He does a great job. Everybody's happy. We all love him. There's nothing saying you can't do that. His mother can leave a review. His best friend can leave a review. His wife, his kids, all of these people can leave reviews. And that's an easy way to start building those 5-star reviews, but you got to reach out to those customers as well. I'm not recommending that anybody goes out and lies and gets people to say they're a customer when they're not. But if they've worked with you, if they're an associate of yours in some way, they can leave a review about you and your business practices and how great you are that doesn't necessarily have something to do with the dental work. And that's perfectly fair to do because there's more to you than being a dentist or being an electrician or being a plumber. You're a business owner. You do business things. You do charity work, all these different things that people can leave reviews about. And make sure that you get reviews on a lot of different sites. You want to make sure Google's going to be the most important. I would target that first, but Yelp, you want to get reviews there. You want to get reviews on Facebook. Again, on Facebook, it's just thumbs up, thumbs down these days, but you want to get the reviews on all of those places. Dex knows, yellowpages.com, get the reviews. It's going to make a big, big difference. Okay. So make sure that you go out and do that. Get those reviews as soon as possible. And again, so how do we get more of those reviews? I think I just kind of covered that, but make sure that you're reaching out. Ask everybody that's a current customer as they're using your services. Ask them. I had a friend who is a pest control company. Well, he owns a pest control company. And one of the things that he does, and I thought this was absolutely brilliant, is he immediately asks a customer to leave a review. And if they do leave a review, that he will tip the service worker that was there. So in other words, they get a message that says, hey, want to tip your service professional $20? Just leave us a review here on Google. And if they leave a review, the service person gets a $20 tip, right? How great is that? Works really, really well for him. He gets a lot of reviews because he goes that extra mile. So something to think about there. And as far as, the other sites, you just want to make sure that you're sending people to those sites. And again, if you use the program that we have, that can get you those reviews very quickly by reaching out to the past customers and slowly building that up. and making sure that all those customers are asked that they leave a review. And again, and some businesses it's going to be easier to get reviews than others. Dentists are seeing lots of people a day. Chiropractors are seeing lots of people a day. Pest control, probably seeing lots of people every day. Plumbers seeing, a bunch of people every day. Other types of businesses, maybe it's not, lawyers, if it's a small law firm, you might only be seeing, one new person every couple of days or what have you. So it's going to be a little tougher. But then again, your competition is going to have that same difficulty as well. So that's one way to do that. Okay, next question here. Okay, how many videos should you have? I recommend that you have as many as you can. I mean, if you've got videos, do that. Get them all optimized. I was dealing with a client the other day. He already had 50 videos in his account. They weren't optimized. They weren't set up. And that's what we're going to go in and do and help. But you can do that. You can optimize all 50 of those videos, and now they're all working for you. Use different keywords for each one. Make sure that the videos point to different parts of your website. Do all of that with all 50 of those videos. We talked about the 109 citations that we got from 5 videos. If you got 50 videos, you're talking about 1,000 citations potentially. So get out there and use those as best you can. What if you don't have videos? If you don't have videos, there's a couple of ways you can remedy that. Use your phone and talk about your business, vlog about your business, do a video blog. You can get testimonials from clients. After they're done with something, ask them to do a video testimonial. Just hold your phone up and do it. Is it going to be the best quality in the world? Maybe not, but quite honestly, people are going to trust that testimonial from a client, right there and then, even if the video quality is not great, because it's going to seem real to them. And that's what they want to see. They want to see a real review of that company. They want to see real testimonials. And so that can help with that. Teach people how to do something. You're a plumber, talk about, do a video about the 5 reasons drains get stopped up. Reasons, how to know if your water heater needs to be replaced, things like that. You can make these videos very quickly and easily. There's also places you can buy videos. We have videos that we've built that are generic videos with spokespersons for over 200 different industries. So a plumber needs a video. We've got a plumber video with a spokesperson sitting there going, hey, if you need a plumber in this local town, we can help you out, blah, blah, blah. And you can take those, you put your name and your logo on them, and boom, you've got content immediately. Very, very quick and easy to do. The other thing is our program that I talked about earlier with the reputation videos, where we take your 5-star reputations, we turn them into a video, one video per 5-star reputation, 5-star review. So this guy here, 129, is 4.7. So probably 110 of them are 5-star reviews. We take those 110 5-star reviews, turn them into 110 videos, and boom, you get those out there with the citations, and it's going to make a huge, huge difference with that. So I recommend you do that. And if you need that, give me a call. I'll be glad to talk about that with you. Make sure that you can get those videos, because it's a great program. It's very easy. It's fairly inexpensive for video content. As you can probably guess, video content can be very expensive. This is actually very affordable because it's a systematized program that automatically builds these videos for you, and it doesn't take us, we don't have to bring $2,000 cameras out to your location and do all these shoots and everything. So it's a lot simpler, and it can be put together very, very quickly. And that's what most of our customers jump on, because they get consistent content all the time. Many of those will also do actual shoots where we'll come out and we'll shoot them and make videos for them, but they'll do those 5-star reputation videos so that they get consistent content all the time that has those links back. Okay, so let's see. The next question here. Can you explain again how the citations actually work? Okay, it's very simple. Anywhere that you put your name, address, and phone number that Google crawls through is going to be like a positive check for you. It's going to say, okay, it's an upvote. It's, this is legitimate business. So when you're in Yellow Pages and you're in Dex and you're on videos and you're in blogs and you're on social media and your name, address, and phone number shows up on all those places, Google will find those and they'll go, oh, this is a legitimate business. They've got 150 citations. Everybody else has 2 or 0 or 5. So he's clearly the more important business, and that's going to be a leg up. You add in 5-star reviews, another leg up. Good SEO on your website, another leg up. All that stuff is going to make a big difference. So you put that all together and you get a really good reputation out of that. Okay. All right, so I think we're going to cut it off there. I think we've got quite a bit of information. Again, if you have any questions about any of this, you can contact me at any time. My phone number is right here, 801-821-0802, or you can reach me at ray@raythevideoguide.com. I will be glad to answer any questions you have, help you out with any of these things. And of course, like I said, we have packages where we'll do this for you. If you need somebody to do it for you, we'll be glad to do that. But I hope this information was helpful for you. I hope that you got something out of this and that it really made a difference for you. I'm going to put in a special bonus for people that showed up here now so that you can get this. And there it is. You can see it's that sowl.co link there. And what that is that's going to give you two things. It's going to give you a training video I did about uploading videos to your Google My Business page. And it's going to give you a local marketing training program that's going to teach you many things about marketing your business locally. Just my free gift to you guys for showing up today, for listening, for asking questions. And again, if you need any help with this, I ask that you please give me a call. I'll be glad to answer those questions. And we look forward to talking to you in the near future. Thanks, guys.